Hey everybody, welcome back to Mediaphile. This is Josh,
and Warren.
Hey, we are here. You may have noticed we did not have a video last week. We are going to attempt shifting to a bi-weekly schedule so we can focus on getting some more diverse content out, more than just this podcast.
Yeah.
So that's exciting. We're not going to say what because we don't want to say something and not do it.
Yeah. No, that's the best. I love setting up expectations before we do it and then just failing terribly.
So we shouldn't talk about the 24-hour stream?
No, we shouldn't talk about a 24-hour charity live stream coming up.
Where we raise dollars.
Where we only play the game Brink.
Yes.
That failed miserably.
I would love like a local server of just 6v6 people playing 24 hours Brink and just like dissecting the game.
I feel like that should exist. I recently watched something that was talking about the Cartoon Network MMO Fusion Fall.
Yeah,
and he was talking
I watched that exact
about,
video. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, he talked about
where Dexter's like an adult.
Yeah,
it's really creepy.
But that's beside the point. Towards the end, he talked about like people basically like recreating the game or hosting it, and talking about the weird like legality of that because it's like preservation because you can't play Fusion Fall anymore. So it's not like you're taking stuff away from Cartoon Network.
Well, that was like
if you rehost it.
Well, that was Warcraft Classic servers problem for a long time. Because Warcraft Classic, or like people would host like original World of Warcraft, like version 1, and people were playing it, and then World of Warcraft was like, don't do that. And like, we'll make classic servers. And Blizzard was like, no, you guys don't want classic servers.
Well, you're not letting us play on these classic servers, so obviously we want classic servers.
Like, well, good. Just with the game?
Yeah, and like, so they're like, no, just play the new stuff. In fact, we're closing this down. Like, but we're not going to play if you do that. Like, what? Fine, here's classic servers.
What's the game that just
You don't know what you like.
World of Warcraft just did that.
I thought RuneScape.
RuneScape has it too. They have classic RuneScape and modern RuneScape.
Okay. And
I think they've always had that or had it for a while.
I think wasn't it?
That
didn't modern RuneScape just get shut down?
No, I don't think so.
I could have swore somebody. I don't know. I've been seeing a lot of memes of like I'm losing all of my RuneScape stuff. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I've never played RuneScape, so I can't speak to that.
Nothing makes me angrier than games companies in general when they're like, you don't know what you like.
Right.
We know what you like. We want this. No, you don't.
Yeah, take this instead. How do we even get on this subject? Brink, yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like old games like that should be like accessible in some way. It's like I will never play Star Wars Galaxies. People will never play Star Wars Galaxies because it does not exist anymore. Granted, there is a new Star Wars MMO now, but it's like
that's games as a service problems.
Yeah,
it's impossible to preserve certain things. You can have emulators of most things,
right?
But you can't recreate a dead MMO,
right?
Because you have to have someone else there, or it doesn't work.
Right. It's just there should be some way, shape, or form to at least like even if you can't go through all of it, at least like experience, like go
like a dead world.
It. Yeah, even if it's a dead world, even if you go into City of Heroes and there's no one around, like
God, that
Ghost Town.
Nothing could be sadder
than a dead MMO. Just
like,
seeing all these like
walking around like an MMO like world that someone built for hundreds of people.
Right, it's built for there to be people running all around it,
and then you're just the one person. Oh.
Yeah, all these dead-eyed NPCs standing around waiting for you to do their quests. But you'll literally be the chosen one. It's not like you're the chosen one along with all of these people you see running around. You are the chosen one.
It's like my favorite thing with like Destiny, where I'd go back to the hub world and I'd run and I'd talk to this person and they're like, you did a great job, you're the reason we're all safe, here's this next quest, and it's like two people who are inside of my body talking to the same person.
I wish you could hear the voice of the person you're talking to can be heard when you're not like interacting with them. It's like, you're the chosen one, thank you for coming. Walks away. Next person walks in. You're the chosen one, thanks for coming.
You know what would make that 10 times better?
It's just Disneyland.
Is if it triggers and it doesn't matter if somebody else is doing it. So it's like you're like just people keep talking to him at the same time.
There has to be a game that's done that kind of thing where like canonically they've like reasoned why that happens. There has to be MMOs or games that have done that. Of like,
I would love it if it was an MMO that just said,
What's
"You're not special."
Yeah,
It was
look, everyone around here.
Destiny's is what's the story of Destiny?
I know you're dead, and then the ghost brings you back to life. So you're like literally a zombie.
Story
that's
is
like
Peter Dinklage comes and
Nolan North
Dang
retcon.
it. Yeah.
Retcon.
I was about to say it was like Peter Dinklage comes and then his character gets killed off, and it's Nolan North.
Well,
that's the story.
I forget what the
same character. He just got retconned.
I forget what the reason is for all the people around you, or does the game actually acknowledge?
I don't think the game ever acknowledges it.
They're other guardians.
You get they're just guardians.
Yeah.
Because you go and save Cade 6, whatever his name is.
Yeah, and you have like the cutscenes. Everyone has their own individual cutscenes where it's not like a group of people doing things. It's just you doing things.
That bothers me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Other people shouldn't feel special. Only me.
How have they not like? How's there not been a game with the story that's like, hey, you're a dude in an army. There's these guys in an army too.
I'm sure there is. I'm sure even World of Warcraft might even do that.
People want to feel special though.
Yeah, I know. Even like, I don't know. That just bothers me that no one's made like a canonical reason of just like, you're a clone. These are your other clones. That's why you all look alike, but you all have stuff to do. So come see me, and I'll tell you something to do, clone.
I mean, I don't know.
I mean, you can be the chosen one, but I feel like it's better to be just another person in a group of people, and that be true, than being like, hey, you're the chosen one.
Yeah. So
like
when you come back from a quest, they're like, thanks, group of people who did this, instead of, thanks, you.
Yeah. I don't know.
I'm just the healer.
It's just weird to me.
Yeah.
What if they said that and then like at the bottom it showed you a counter of how many times they've said that?
So the self checkouts at Kroger do this thing where if you scan something, like it says how much like it costs.
Right.
So you can like
should.
So if you put in your like Kroger Plus number, then immediately scan something, it goes, "Thank you, valued customer, $2.19." And the first time that happened, I thought it was just saying what number I was. And I was like, "Thank you, valued customer, $219." It's like, what? That does not make me feel valued. So every single time I hear that, it makes me laugh so much.
What's funny though is that you're so much less than number 219. Like
right,
you're like
I'm in the millions.
That makes you feel bad, but it's way worse.
Yeah.
Like
they don't tell me how worse it is.
Yeah. Anyway, time for some news.
Yeah, 8 minutes in, I guess we can start the podcast.
Anyway,
I like weird divergence.
Yeah, that was our cold open. Welcome, guys. Boop, beep, boop, 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 boop. Okay.
All right. Anyway, news bits. Let's start off with something that I feel like I could talk about for a while, and maybe you guys. I don't know if you guys have seen it yet, but the Cyberpunk trailer came out.
Yeah, I watched a chunk of it.
Well, it's a gameplay trailer.
Yeah, I watched a chunk of it.
The cool part.
None of it.
Okay, so
fill me in.
You watched so you know nothing from Gamescom, right?
No.
Okay, go on.
So it's not the first trailer, which was what got dropped at the end of the Xbox
the cinematic trailer.
E3 conference. It was the first gameplay video we got of it. And do you remember the trailer that was shown at the end of Xbox?
Not very vividly.
Not very vividly. Okay. Everyone who's watching or listening to this needs to look it up at some point. Maybe while we're talking about it right now would be a good idea. Go ahead and go watch that video. And it's made by CG Projekt Red, who made Witcher. Witcher 3 specifically is what everybody points to because it's amazing. It's huge. Well, it's beautiful.
Because everyone's thinking of, and this is how I always think about with Cyberpunk, is it's like, The Witcher was an absurdly dense game.
Oh, yeah.
Like, everything led to something else.
Yeah.
Now think of that in a city.
Yes. Well, not only that, like, they're the best, arguably, at world building. Bethesda might give them a run for their money. But Breath of the Wild comes to mind when I think of like really well-built maps.
It's a well-built world, but I see world building as in like
lore,
making it feel like a lot,
making every person feel important.
Breath of the Wild didn't have because it was sort of empty. Like there's so much to do, but in general, it's like things happen in the field, but it's empty as far as like
interaction lore.
This doesn't affect stuff on the other side of the world.
I see what you're saying. But Witcher does, like, it even has a card game that's fleshed out.
Yeah.
And, they're very good at world building.
I knew people that would play The Witcher just to play Gwent, and then they gave Gwent its own game.
Yeah. But anyway, when the gameplay trailer dropped, everyone kind of, I don't know, the general consensus from what I can see, and also from myself, is that it was not as good as people were anticipating. And when it started, when people watched it, it was like, this is not what we expected the game to be.
What is it?
And we hope that it's not just this. Well, most of the trailer is just fighting. And I didn't know this. It's first person.
Yeah, it is first person. Yeah.
And it's with guns and stuff. And I honestly, if you hadn't told me I was watching it, I would have thought I was watching a gameplay trailer for Rage 1 or Bulletstorm. Which was both of which were Xbox 360 games.
I've seen both.
It did not strike me as a very good. It didn't strike me as good enough to show. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, they should have kept it to themselves.
Yeah, they showed a lot, didn't they?
It was like 10 minutes of gameplay trailer, and most of it was just shooting and fighting basic enemies. And like, there were times where the guy would shoot at the enemy and the bullets would go into the enemy, but he wasn't aiming at the enemy, and the enemy would fall in a direction that didn't make sense. And it's just like,
they probably should have waited a little longer before.
I'm not into this at all. And it's not like they were doing a live gameplay trailer. Like, this is what they were like, yeah,
this is the stuff.
This is what we should show. And it's like, what? I don't know.
Overall, I thought it looked really good.
Yeah.
Especially like a lot of the mocap, like the cinematic stuff.
Okay.
Which I know typically that's like polished to to no end.
There's where the budget goes.
Yeah, but it just looks so stinking like I'm trying to think. It's the girl.
It looks last gen to me, but I don't know.
Maybe the girl when you first see the girl and when she I don't know, she got like slides out of bed. There's just something in the way they move or whatever. When it's mocap, I know it's mocap.
Yeah.
But it just the way the lighting and the way it moved just looked. Like I got tricked when I first saw it because I thought it was real. Like I thought it was like a real video for a second, which doesn't say that much anymore. That's kind of easy with games now.
Yeah.
Overall, the gameplay looks fun. It looks like something I wouldn't expect. The people who made The Witcher,
going from Witcher to first-person shooter.
Also, there's cars. That's what blew my mind in that, where I saw them like get in the car and drive around with it.
Okay. Here's something.
What?
I might have not watched a gameplay trailer then. I might have watched a...
Did you watch the thing from E3 that they showed people behind closed doors?
Not E3. No. Okay. I watched IGN's gameplay of this. Like, they played 14 minutes of it and posted it online.
Because there's a full 48 minutes that got posted of gameplay.
Yes. And it does not... I don't know. It didn't strike me as a game that I don't know.
I don't know. It looks
I will still buy it because I trust CD Projekt Red.
I'm really confused because it looked amazing to me.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna have to watch what you watch, and you're gonna have to watch what I watch, and we'll come back and we'll clarify next week. But either way, go ahead and look up whatever you can on this game because it's made by a company that, I mean, we can pretty much go ahead and say it's going to be a good game by the time it comes out.
It's gonna be a dense game no matter what. You're gonna put hundreds of hours into it.
It's an RPG. They're not going away from that, so just be ready for that because it'll probably be really good and it'll knock your socks off. Okay.
Did you see Dying Light 2?
From E3?
From Gamescom?
No.
They put a whole gameplay trailer.
Okay, I've seen gameplay trailers of the game.
More of it came out.
Gameplay footage and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I don't know. I feel like with Dying Light, there's not a whole lot to say because it looks like it's going to be just an extension off of the first one, which did really well. So it's like they're doing more of the same, and the world's going to be more fleshed out. Like the zombies aren't going to be as big of a threat in this one. It's more people because that's just the natural progression of a zombie apocalypse.
That's my favorite thing with
Walking Dead.
No, it's Last of Us.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there are. It wasn't so much a zombie game as more like this is a world with zombies.
Yeah, you're in a post-zombie world, so like the clickers still suck, but
still
they're only in certain areas. So maybe you'll run into them while scavenging, but you're not gonna have to worry about a horde of clickers running at your base.
Yeah. This is they show you at the very beginning is the heartbreaking issue when the zombies first strike.
Right.
They show you a little bit about how the zombies took over, and then now this is the issue we're dealing with now, which is we've pretty much handled it, but we're trying to get by, you know.
Yeah, infected suck more than clickers, but infected will eventually be clickers, and also everybody wants to murder you and take your stuff.
I've said this before to you guys, but the thing I always wish I saw more of in zombie stuff is like the switch from normal world to zombie world. Like they never show that in anything.
Like the reverse switch? Like
like day of zombie outbreak.
Oh yeah.
Day of, week of, month of zombie outbreak. Because almost every zombie thing you see, Walking Dead.
Fear the Walking Dead kind of did that. Like
some of it, yeah.
Yeah, the first season there's like you get patient 0.
Mm-hmm.
It shows you patient 0, and then it shows like the zombies starts to come out and people are freaking out by it, and then the military comes and kind of like annexes like a group of people and all that stuff.
Like most things always show like the first zombie they encounter,
and then they skip to zombie apocalypse,
and they skip to that's been X amount of months. This is the crew of people that survived this long.
Right.
Yeah.
Walking Dead and Walking Dead, the Telltale thing, both involve people getting knocked out.
Yeah.
For X amount of time, because
Lee's still
out.
It's still like day one apocalypse.
Yeah.
He's not out for days. He's just unconscious.
To be fair, all of the stuff with Clementine is post. Especially at the very, very beginning of season 2, there's a bit of a time jump.
Yeah, but season 1 is pretty early in the zombie apocalypse.
It is pretty early. It still feels like
because you're in the police car.
Yeah, you're in the police car when it all happens, and you hear all the stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But you still crash, and I feel like there's a time period there between.
He couldn't have been knocked out for too long though.
I don't think he's been not that long, but I feel like in that there's a weird thing because Clementine's been in her house for a little while.
Yeah, that's a thing that doesn't really get explained. You listen to the voicemail, and I think I don't know.
It sounds like it's been a while. Yeah, it sounds like that's what I'm saying. Like it feels like it's been a while. Like he was there for a while.
To be fair, that might explain the fact that some zombie outbreaks happen before.
Like it happened other places first.
Yeah. Okay.
But that wouldn't explain
Dawn
why.
of the Dead, the movie, does the same thing.
Where it shows
the Zack Snyder Dawn of the Dead remake from like 2007.
Does Zombieland count? But to be fair,
they do the same thing.
The only issue
Zombieland does the exact same thing. Zombieland does, okay, here's day 1, and now we're skipping really far.
Yeah.
All zombies
because he has his whole rule book.
Yeah.
Zombie movies just don't like showing the initial outbreak
because
people want to skip straight to this is the apocalypse and this is
right.
This is all the BAs that made it.
Right. It's also hard to explain how slow moving people who are stupid kill off people who are smart with guns.
That's why Dawn of the Dead makes the most sense because they basically get like super rabies, and in Dawn of the Dead, those zombies are fast.
Have you seen World War Z?
I've not seen World War Z.
That's day 1 stuff.
Yeah,
it's really good.
I'm always confused about World War Z because the way like the zombies move, they move like ants. Like they pile on top of each other to get to a helicopter.
So cool. I love it. You know why though, right? It's based off of a disease for ants.
Yeah.
Oh, is it like the mind control disease?
Mm-hmm. Yes. They're like the fungus.
Yes.
Which is what
clickers
are based off.
And before that, they are infected and they do the running, which is why the zombie apocalypse is able to happen in that world.
Yeah, but even then, I think there's people who've done. I think there are like, there's no way to like do real experiments, but just like people like thought this through of like what's Earth's defense, what's like our nation's defense, what's all this and everything. And someone's like, no, we kind of ran the test. If it was just like through biting or through scratches or physical like interactions or bodily trades, you get infected. Like, yeah, if that was the case, zombies aren't actually a problem.
Yeah. Right, yeah.
Zombies couldn't ever be a problem.
Especially in like Southern America.
You know that, like...
Southern, like, South America?
No, Southern United States. Sorry,
Okay.
let me clarify.
There's a collegiate level study that has shown that Kentucky would be the best state to be in if a Walking Dead like zombie apocalypse.
I don't doubt that.
No,
because there are more guns than people in Kentucky.
Fort Knox.
Well, yeah, there's that.
Get to Fort Knox, you're set.
Yeah, see,
Depends if you can get into Fort Knox.
that's why the
problem.
only zombie apocalypse.
I didn't even think about my words.
Yeah, I'll just go into this highly guarded military place.
I was like, Fort Knox is impenetrable, so just get into Fort Knox and you're safe.
oh.
Wait, oh, okay. Crap.
You see, that's why a Walking Dead apocalypse is the only one that like makes sense for it being that bad, because you die, you're a zombie. You die in your sleep, you bite someone, you're a zombie.
Yeah. It's also just like, you get sick. I mean, Planet of the Apes had this, if things happen like Planet of the Apes where it was just like airborne.
Dude, I love the...
Because
in Rise of the Planet of the Apes, I think that's the first reboot. The credits sequence is literally just watching
Pandemic.
a game of Pandemic.
Yeah.
Like the Flash game.
Yeah.
Someone gets on an airplane, it just shows... It shows Patient Zero getting on an airplane and just showing the arrows go out as the entire population is dying.
Yeah.
That's the credit sequence. Everyone in the world dies during the credits.
Because there's stuff like that, and then, I guess I Am Legend not I Am Legend.
Dude, I Am Legend is so good, though.
I'm trying to, there's games or movies or whatever where it's like, yeah, this affects all but like 10% of the population.
Right.
All but 10% of the population gets infected and turns. The other 10%, the 10% that's left over, 5% of them get attacked and die.
Mm-hmm.
So this is what's left over. To where it's like, yeah, we're immune just because of genetics, but we still have to deal with the other 90% of the populations that
That's
are...
what Dying Light is, right? Like,
Is that how that works?
you're immune?
No.
Or is that Dead Island?
Dead Island, you're immune.
Okay.
Dying Light is we have a cure, and your player gets bit at the very beginning, but he has the cure.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's not a cure that like completely takes care of it, but it just prolongs.
Right.
The effect.
And then there's the
symptoms.
evil or evil organization, greedy organization that's like, we want to take this and sell it and like monetize it.
What's
Like,
the dude?
we don't actually care about this place. We're okay with all these people dying. But we're testing it on some of them, and we're seeing what happens when we drop, like, cases of it.
Yeah.
What happens. It's kind of stupid, but...
Now go find it and burn it. Oh, okay.
What?
Well, then why'd you drop it in the first place? No.
Plot.
So news.
Oh, yeah.
The news!
Yeah, getting back to it, because we went on Dying Light for a little bit. Another trailer...
Zombies. We just went on zombies.
Well, we talked about Dying Light. That's what we got in there.
Yeah.
Another trailer that dropped was Spider-Man. Got another trailer.
See,
And it's the nicest
I've
one
stopped
yet.
watching the trailers. Just,
Same.
I know I'm gonna get it. Like,
Yeah. Well,
They don't do anything anymore.
It's called the Relationships trailer, and it shows you... Oh, man. The whole concept is... it is... What's the... Jonah Jameson?
yeah,
J. Jonah Jameson.
yeah.
The guy who's in charge of the
Daily Bugle.
Yeah, the Daily Bugle.
Yeah. Wow, what a nerd doesn't know his Spider-Man comic lore.
Sorry, I'm
Loser.
sorry. He's like...
I bet you don't even know the Green Goblin's
I
real
don't
name.
know if it's a podcast or just like I think it's the radio. And he's
You know that thing where people talk and it gets broadcasted?
a live
Like,
podcast.
I don't know
Oh,
if it
is
was,
that like a...
It's a live podcast.
I don't know if it was on TV or what it was. I don't know. But
There
either
was
way,
this weird device that had knobs on it and an antenna.
either way, he's talking.
He usually plays music, but now he's saying words. Sorry. Now it just turned into me making fun of you.
Okay, he's talking, and he's talking about how Spider-Man is a menace, and he's like,
Sounds about right.
Yeah, like he does.
yeah, you know, like he does. And Spider-Man, or Peter Parker, calls in, and he doesn't say that he's Spider-Man. He goes, I don't really think Spider-Man's that bad of a person. He goes, all right, what's your name, young man? And then he like makes up some name, and then he's like, some people would argue that what Spider-Man's doing is actually helping the police. And then then Jonah
Jameson.
Jonah
J?
Jameson.
J.
Like J. Dot.
I'm gonna say Triple J says
You can just call him JJ.
JJ. Okay,
Or Jameson.
JJJ. says that is a stupid point of view, but he understands why some people might have it. He says that because Spider-Man came in, all of these people have been put at risk because of when he put on the mask, it encourages all these other crazy people who are coming in and doing all these horrible things. And then he starts listing them off, and it's a good way to like be able to show off all those characters.
Right.
And so like he mentions the Vulture. He goes, that guy in the rhino suit, and then Spider-Man's like, the rhino? He goes, yeah. It's just really funny. And he mentions that.
It's such a Peter Parker.
And he says that there's this guy, the Green Goblin is like flying around and like all this stuff, and it's just showing off all of the bad guys. And then he says he's endangering every person in the city, and it starts showing you all of his friends, basically.
Question.
Yes.
How old is Aunt May? Does she look old?
Yes, she's old.
Good. I am pro old Aunt May. I am pro 90s cartoon.
And you can quote me on that.
Yeah, you can quote me on this. I am pro 90s cartoon Raimi trilogy old sweet Aunt May.
That's the weirdest like slow retcon of anything.
Yeah, they've just been like slowly making her younger and younger. No, she is a sweet old lady. That is who Aunt May is.
You know what? I disagree with you on a lot of Spider-Man movie topics, but I will say that Aunt May from the original Spider-Man with what's his name? Tobey Maguire is the best Aunt May.
Yes, she is Aunt May to me.
It depends.
Where she's all sweet and she gives him the ring, like
Yeah.
that part.
She's like, this is the ring that your uncle gave me. Remember him?
The only thing I'd say, like, in contrast to that, is it depends on what Aunt May does in the story. Because if she's literally just the thing Peter needs to save all the time, it makes sense for her to be old. But if she has any actual like significant story wise, if you ever want to use her to do anything in it, you need her to be a little younger, not
super young,
not homecoming,
young, not creepy like. Same age as Tony Stark.
Yeah.
Not creepy like Stacy's mom has got to go on.
Yeah.
Type of thing.
Where the joke is she's hot. It's like, why?
I would love if they kept that. I would love if they kept the same joke, but they would just cut back to Sam Raimi's Spider-Man.
I'm curious is if they got that actress and then made the joke, or if the casting call was just hot Aunt May.
I don't know. Also in casting in general, I'm always confused about how you like. Especially,
how you cast like the joke fat character.
Yes, exactly that.
Casting call. Someone who's going to be made fun of for how they look.
Exactly. Like, yeah, we had this character written out, and like the crux of his character is making fun of his huge obnoxious nose. So who wants to do it?
Who wants to play Mark Del Figaro? You know, from Zoe 101.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
It was a deep cut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, Aunt May needs to be old. Is what I'm saying here.
I would cut.
You say old Aunt May can't do anything? Old Aunt May deduced that the chameleon was a chameleon and tricked him into thinking that she poisoned his cookies. In Civil War, the comics.
Doesn't she marry...
And that's old Aunt May.
Doesn't she marry, like, Dr. Doom or something?
What?
I don't know, but probably.
I mean, it's comic book, so yes.
In one of, like, the Marvel Spider-Man series comic book.
One of the million.
Yeah, she, like, the plot point is that a villain takes a liking to her and is marrying Aunt May.
That sounds
Spider-Man
like a comic
stop it.
Yeah.
It sounds like a 80s, 70s Spider-Man.
Yeah, I can see that being an episode of the 90s animated series.
It's kind of like the plot where Plankton starts to date Mr. Krabs' mom.
Yes! It's just that.
In the end, SpongeBob is tasked with breaking them up.
That is, you haven't seen that? That is a real episode.
That is a classic.
How old is that episode?
It's pretty old. Anyway.
News!
Getting on with news.
We've done news.
Destiny 2 had another stupid trailer
I don't care.
thing for another
Keep
thing
going.
that dropped.
It's still
and no one cared. Anyway, on another
Destiny
note,
2 doesn't get to be news.
that I'm actually excited about is the fact that the Switch just randomly, or not the Switch, but Nintendo for the Switch dropped hints that these specific 20 indie games were going to come to the Switch.
Oh yeah.
So you can play them. But not all of them are important.
Right.
But there are 4 that stood out to me the most because I've played them.
Oh yeah, 2005 is when that episode came out.
Or I didn't play them, but
That's past when I
were
watched
like
it.
10s across the board, and I know I need to play them already.
Mhm.
One of which was Towerfall. which-
Yes.
Towerfall's amazing. It's been taking way too long for Towerfall to come to it.
I'm pretty sure it said that it was going to be 6 players
That's so
available.
cool.
on
It's releasing September 27th. So
Freaking tastic.
Right.
like 27 days from now, or for you guys it'd be like 25 days. Depends on when we put this out.
Yeah.
But anyway, Bastion gets announced.
Oh,
for
cool.
Switch.
I've never
Right.
played Bastion,
Yes.
but I would like to play it.
I bought it on Steam
Every-
years ago and never played it.
Well, that's the thing with indie games. Indie games just feel more easy to play when it's just on your Switch
Right.
instead of booting up your computer for it.
Then a game that I still haven't played, but I've always said I was gonna play, and then now I'm just gonna wait for it to come out on
Yeah.
Switch. Is Undertale. Undertale is dropping the 18th.
I still feel like playing it on the computer is the best way to play it.
Not anymore, because you know all the things it's going to do to you.
I don't. I know it's going to do things, but I don't know what specifically. I don't know how, but I've really been able to block out most of Undertale because I want to play it blind.
I don't know what it does.
Don't tell them.
Okay.
Is it like what's the game?
Doki Doki Literature Club?
Is it like Doki Doki?
It does things similar, but
Less scary?
it's
I'll tell you.
it's similar because it messes with you
I'll
using
tell- yeah.
information that it can access.
I'll
Okay.
tell you one thing from it because it just kind of shows you what it can do. Is the game comes with a digital manual to help you with things.
Okay.
The game will change what the manual says depending on where you are in the game.
If you
Oh.
if you don't like a decision you made and try to start a new game, it will remember the decision you made.
It will call you out for it. Like you'll kill a character during like an altercation or something.
Yeah.
And you're like, or you'll mess up and do something, and you're like, oh no, load back, come back to it. The character's like, I know what you did.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's awful. I would hate that so much.
Yeah.
That's Undertale.
And you can't delete the saves either. Like, it'll know when you delete. Like, if you go and find like your save, you can't delete it.
I'm playing. I'm okay. It's
And that's why you
releasing
need
the
to play it on
18th.
the computer because it has more stuff to.
But
There's more stuff
Switch,
like that.
though. I don't know.
But the whole game. But see, that's like a super like minuscule part of the game.
Okay.
That's not. That doesn't.
That's not why the game is good. It's still a good game.
It just does that kind of stuff.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna play it for sure. I don't know where I'm going to play it yet, but I know that it's
Yeah.
releasing for the
Switch.
Switch.
It'll be played.
And then also coming in October. I don't think that this has actually got a full release yet either. So this is just when it's coming out. Is Jackbox Party Pack 5.
I'm so excited for that game because it's the first one since the first Party Pack to actually have You Don't Know Jack on it.
Well, there you go.
I don't know why they haven't put You Don't Know Jackson all those.
On
get-
Jackbox Party Pack.
Right. I guess just they don't want to overdo it because
I guess.
it has for it to be as good as it is, it needs to have relevant jokes,
That's
relevant
true.
things. So you get a couple years to build up pop culture stuff.
Enough of the zeitgeist.
I
Yeah.
would much rather, and I've said this before, not on here though, if Jackbox stopped doing party packs
And just sold individual games.
no, and did a Jackbox Central where you can, every time you want to buy more games, it adds it to the long list of games.
Yeah, so they could still sell it in packs, but do it all in one application.
Yes.
Yeah, so you
So I don't have to be with my friends
Go
and we're
searching
yes.
are we gonna play 1, 2, 3, 4, 5?
Oh, why don't we just open Jackbox and then we can choose from all of those
them.
games?
Yeah.
It makes a lot more
I
sense
feel
to
like
do
there
that.
could still be a way for them to do that if
That-
they use what licenses you have on
and
your
they could
system.
see which one you had. You could easily do that. It's kind of like, have you ever played the Heads Up game on your phone?
No.
You haven't?
Mm-mm.
It's like the
but I've heard of it before.
It's just it's a fun game to have because it's easy to play with.
Is it basically just the phone version of headbands?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's
But it's like rapid fire though. So, like you hold up what it is and they describe it, and then if you get it right, you're like yeah, and then go bring, and then there's the next thing.
Okay.
Like if you put it that way, it's yes. If you put it that way, it's a no. Like you can't.
It's actually a lot of fun. Me and Aaron download it every now and then, just have fun.
Okay. But in that, just saying, in that game, you buy decks. Like you have your basic. You buy your basic.
I like that. Okay.
You buy base packs, but you're like, okay, now you're gonna have to figure out friends characters, or you're gonna have to figure out things from this thing or that thing, Game of Thrones edition thing.
It's the same concept that some games have. That it's not necessarily DLC. It's a whole new thing.
Yeah.
It's just we're keeping it all in a central location,
right?
Which I like. I like that a lot more. I'm not like it's like the same thing when Master Chief Collection came out.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna pull up my Xbox 360 anymore and plug in Halo 3. I'm just gonna pull up Master Chief Collection, and it has. I can it just easily within seconds go from playing a level in Halo 1 to a level in Halo 4, and I like that.
It just makes things easier.
Ease of access. You know?
Yeah. It's just like why. It's just why Nintendo needs to just go ahead and just do the crap with the Virtual Console.
Yeah, you're
because
right.
There's so many games that are impossible to play unless you emulate it.
Yeah.
Which is why emulators are great because you just have the collection of stuff right there.
But they've been cracking down on emulation, especially like not especially, but like there's a lot of places that had Super Nintendo ROMs that got hit, and now you can't play those games. But you can't play those games.
Some games you can't play anymore.
So it's not like we're taking profit away from Nintendo because I downloaded Animaniacs for the Super Nintendo.
Oh man,
right?
I like that game.
It's a really fun game.
Okay.
Another game?
No.
Anything else from?
No more games, but we have three. I have 3 bits of news on TV and movies. So if you have another video game thing,
Life is Strange 2.
Yeah.
Have you seen stuff like that?
I saw that it was a different character in the same world.
Yeah. So. Did you play the Life is Strange like little freaky thing they gave out?
No, I've literally only played the part of chapter. Wait, we were on chapter 2. I've only played the stuff I played with you guys.
Okay, so there.
Wait, are you talking about that or the the free
thing? The kid.
The free. I'm talking about the free thing for the moment.
Okay, yeah.
So you guys haven't played any of that?
No. Have you?
Yeah. It's
okay,
free.
cool.
It's great, but
I downloaded it. I never played it.
Either way, the people in Life is Strange 2 is in that game.
Okay, I knew there was gonna be something like that in there.
Yeah, they're like little side. They're like in the side, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
But the whole thing's about It's about two brothers.
And they have a strong bond.
It's the 2 brothers. I think they're running. I can't remember the main thing, but they're running away from something.
Yeah.
And I don't know if there's powers in this one. I'm gonna imagine.
I feel like there is.
But I love. This is where they're going with Life is Strange.
Mm-hmm.
I like the idea of. Okay, the story is done. Next group in the same world.
And then they'll get like a third one, and then they'll all come together in one crossover episode.
Do you know? Okay,
I know nothing about Life is Strange besides what we've played together.
I'm not going to because I don't want to for the people on the podcast or for you guys because we are playing it together. We're not recording it. Sorry,
yeah, I've already played all Life is Strange.
Oh, I thought you only played the first episode.
Of one, I know. Well, I know the entirety of it. I haven't played it.
Oh, so I know nothing.
So you know then that the way Life is Strange 1 leaves us is there's no way those characters are coming back.
You're bad at this.
I mean,
I'm not going to do anything that spoils anything, but something really bad that makes him unable to come back.
I never said bad. I never said bad. It's also choices.
Something good happened so much that they can never come back.
I'm just saying.
You're really bad at this.
They're not going to be in... I mean, they could be. I don't know.
You can't say things like that.
Yeah, she's a time person. Okay? That plays into it. That plays into it. That's it. That's all I'm saying. So I guess she could come back.
Life is Strange 2 is coming out. It's an anthology. They're going to stop doing the same characters. Stop digging your hole. We're done. Stop digging holes.
They can't do it.
Shut up. Shut up.
Okay. I'm done. With
Life is Strange 2 is coming out. It's an anthology, or it looks like it, to where there's going to be a bunch of different things. It looks cool. I'm happy. I think that happened I think it actually came out last week. I don't think it was at Gamescom.
Oh,
I feel like I've heard about it. I feel like I've heard about it for a little bit. For the new game that came out.
Yeah.
Don't.
I do want to you know that I've not played the ending, but this is what from somebody has said. They're like,
I don't know if that's better or worse.
With future games, they're not going to use those characters anymore. Like they just won't.
So you don't know what you don't even know what it is, do you?
No, I just know that they're gone. Like, or not necessarily gone, but they're not going to be like they're done with their story. You know, like, does that make sense?
Which is why they're doing an anthology thing, yeah. Instead of taking the same characters.
Like I wanted to say, it's just like how they're not going to use Commander Shepard anymore, but you know what happens to him by the end of it, and while his story is done, but you know why they can't use him anymore. But
yeah, because they shut that whole section of BioWare down.
There's that too, which makes me sad. Killing my
dreams. What's the thing they said about Mass Effect Andromeda? Well, like, we're
indefinite hiatus.
Yes, we're shelving this for an indefinite hiatus.
Which is so. I feel like they just got tired of people asking them to make more Mass Effect. So the company intentionally made this Mass Effect fail, so they can be like, "Oh no, this is the reason we're not making Mass Effect anymore."
You know, I bet BioWare did BioWare make that the Andromeda too?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then, but they're owned by EA.
Yeah, I like to think that BioWare likes to think that's what happened. That's what BioWare tells their friends.
Yeah.
We made this game bad on purpose so we don't have to make any more.
No, I bet there's a lot of people that are really mad. Like, people who put, like, passionate hours into that game, and then it got released like that, and they're like, I wasn't done. It's like when your teacher is like, okay, time to turn in your test, and you're like, wait, I know these answers.
I've worked really hard on this.
So far, it's just going to look bad if you get it now.
Yeah, it's like up to this point.
I did really good on these first 2 questions.
Well, the issue,
if you graded me on just what I completed, it's a 90. But if you graded me on a whole, it's a 60. And that's exactly why Mass Effect Andromeda failed.
But yeah. Also, it was a AAA game with just bad graphics, which is the
because it wasn't done yet.
Yeah, which is just the biggest taboo you can have now.
I'm never going to have a good debate with somebody when it comes to Mass Effect because it has a special place in my heart. So let's just move on.
I'm honestly surprised they didn't do a remaster of like the OG I almost said Master Chief. OG Mass Effect trilogy.
I mean, that's still a possibility.
I feel like it would have happened by now.
Well, I feel like the issue ends up being like
everyone at BioWare is working on Anthem though.
Yeah, you know.
I feel like the issue is
Anthem.
I feel like the issue is no one wants to play Mass Effect, like the first one.
Shut up. I love Mass Effect.
I never played the first one.
Yes, I love every single Mass Effect game.
I feel like everyone really fell in love with it with 2.
I did, because that's the first one I played.
I feel like everyone fell in love with it at 2, and then people left the honeymoon state by 3.
You know why I never played 1?
Not for me.
Everyone, people still love Mass Effect 3. I'm just saying, but like, Mass Effect 3 doesn't hold the same place in people's heart as Mass Effect 2.
Mass Effect 2 will always be the good one.
Exactly.
The best one.
I can't talk about this, so you guys keep going.
I mean, you would agree that Mass Effect 2 is the best one.
It's hard. 2 and 3 are masterpieces, in my opinion. But
3 is almost a masterpiece. 3 is like a masterpiece that somebody like sneezed at the very end of.
Don't do this to him.
And so
don't do this. Don't do this to him.
So you look around at the rest of the painting and you're like,
look.
If I'm holding my hands like this and I'm covering.
Shut up.
Do you want this from me?
Shut up. I have seen this man yell at strangers at Walmart over the ending of Mass Effect 3.
I've done that before. I got into a debate with a guy at Walmart I'd never known about whether or not it matters what we did in our lives when we all have the same ending. We all die, right?
See,
don't make him do this.
So our choices don't matter.
God dang it.
That is not a good argument because this is not life. It is a video game. I don't play this for that reason. When a company tells us our choices are going to matter and then our choices don't...
They do matter!
When they say our choices are going to influence the ending and they don't except for your last choice, that is bad by design because they didn't do what they told.
Completely.
Yes,
it doesn't have as big of an impact, but it does have an impact.
The ending, the real ending, only matters which your last choice is.
No.
Yes.
I promise. The impact that it has changes based on the good or the bad you've done.
You get one like one cutscene afterwards. Maybe it changed in the director's cut.
Yeah,
I haven't played
it
the
with
director's cut. But the way it was originally released, you get one scene after. You get Joker and Edie walking out holding hands in hand because you chose to synthesize. And that's like all you get. And then you get...
Did you choose to synthesize?
Yes.
Okay, there's no... If you choose to synthesize, nothing matters.
You know why I chose to synthesize? Because it was the option that was walking straight. I didn't want to decide, so I just walked forward.
That one's, they try to say, is like the best ending. I destroyed them. And the destruction path changes based on the amount of good or the amount of choices you made that were good towards AI and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And so... with that choice, you get rid of, like, if you've made horrible decisions the whole time, you choose that path, everyone dies, except for very few people, because they all explode. But if you choose that path after doing a lot of good things, then the robots just, like get turned off type of thing.
Yeah.
And the guests still die, but that's it. Everybody else is saved. And I was like, that makes the most sense to me.
See, it would be really bad for me playing the game if I chose the ending where you destroy all the robots, because I chose the Geth over the Quarians. So if I chose the Geth...
I saved them both.
If I chose the Geth and caused the genocide of Quarians and then killed the Geth in the end...
that's a good point.
Then I would just be a bad person.
One of my favorite things with that specifically, though, and Warren's already looking at his phone, he's like, oh, God, we're getting into this. And he tried his best to keep us from getting into this. Last thing I have to say about it is that it's funny to me, and the one thing I have that I don't like about Mass Effect 3 is that there are 3 choices in the end. The whole time.
See, you shouldn't get to make a choice at the end. It should be already decided by the time you get there because of what you've done in the past.
Not only that, but 2 and 3, your whole goal is to get rid of the Reapers.
Right.
Get rid of the Reapers. Whole time. Okay. Every single race you talk to, get them on board with getting rid of the Reapers. They send all of their people, all of their race, to help you get rid of the Reapers. Many of them die. Some entire races, some entire planets die to help you get rid of the Reapers. And then one Reaper says, but you have these other 2 choices. I think I'll do something completely different. All these people have died to help you do this one thing. And so by obligation, I almost automatically chose this because that's what I told little Jimmy, who just lost his dad, that I was going to do. So I'm going to do that.
Warren, you awkwardly twiddling your thumbs doesn't work when there's no camera for the audience to see you awkwardly twiddling your thumbs.
Okay, so Life is Strange 2 is coming out September 27th next month. I guess that's the news, or do you have anything else?
September 20. Did you look up the date?
I was trying to remember what we were talking about.
Here's something that matters to me and not you two. Today is National Power Rangers Day. It is the 25th anniversary of Power Rangers.
Wow,
Today,
I don't care.
I
love Star Wars. I do love Star Wars. I do love Power Rangers Dino Force.
Dino Thunder?
Dino Thunder.
Hey, yo, that was actually a good season.
I like that season.
There's not a lot of,
I don't know anything else about Power Rangers.
They have a nice crossover episode today that has a bunch of old Rangers coming in.
Do they do that every year? Do they do that every, like 5, 10, 15?
So typically every season we'll have a crossover episode with the previous team, but every, I'd say 5 years, they have an episode where they bring, legacy people in.
Okay.
It started with the 10th anniversary when they had Forever Red, which was every single Red Power Ranger up to that point. And then every 5 years after, they brought in other people. It's cool. It's nice. There have been a lot of stuff this year for the 25th.
Do you watch current Power Rangers?
No.
Okay. I was just curious.
I am watching the current season of Super Sentai, though, which I've never watched a season of Super Sentai before.
Is it on Crunchyroll?
Is it?
I think it is. Because I think I've seen it on there before, and I think I've seen 4 or 5 episodes out of pure curiosity.
I don't know.
What are you laughing at?
I'm just laughing at the fact that you remembered and I didn't, that I yelled at random strangers too.
Oh my god!
And Walmart mentioned the fact
we weren't friends then. We weren't that good of friends.
We were kind of friends. We were looking at the video games, and somebody saw that we were looking at Mass Effect, and they were like, "Oh, Mass Effect 3, horrible ending, right?" And I was just like, No.
Yo, what a hot take too. The guy was like, "Hey, this ending that everyone thinks is bad, right?"
Because I remember that day really well because we literally had the conversation. Like, I haven't played Mass Effect.
Yeah.
And you were complaining to me about people complaining about the game in the car.
Yeah.
And then that guy said that at Walmart. And then I walked away to go look at headphones. And then I came back and you were still talking to that guy. And that guy...
He did not realize the can of beans.
Yeah.
The can of worms, not beans. Beans are good. Worms are bad. The can of worms he was opening.
And he was kind of neckbeardy. So it looked like he came into that conversation like guns blazing, ready to throw out things like, oh yeah, you know that. So the second he just hit you, and you were just like, here's my thesis.
The guy was like, hey, he's looking at video games, I'm looking at video games, here's something we can talk about, maybe I'll make a new friend. Hey, here's a pretty general opinion that most people agree, right?
No.
The guy didn't even believe what he said. He was just saying that to try to,
which was the people I was complaining about to you. I was like, too many people are complaining about this. It just came out. There's no way they all played the game already. You know, it's just getting really mad. Right. It's like from day one, people were said that the ending was going to be bad because it was nowhere near as bad as I thought it was going to be. I thought you were going to get there and it was just going to be and then everyone died. The end. But in words.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was just going to be the most inconsequential thing.
You know what end I hate more than Mass Effect 3's ending? And I haven't even played Mass Effect 3.
BioShock Infinite? Just kidding.
That ending was good.
Yeah, it was. BioShock Infinite's end is really good.
Fallout 3's. Okay. That one always bothers me. Especially if you have Fox on your side. Have you ever played Fallout 3?
I have.
Have you ever beat it?
Yeah.
Where you go into the thing and you type in the Revelation, the Alpha and Omega Bible verse to save the world, but you die in the process.
Whoa.
Spoilers. The game's from 2008. If you have Fox with you, the super mutant. Do you know what super mutants are? Immune to radiation.
Yeah.
And then if you talk to Fox, he's like, I don't want to steal your thunder in this glorious moment.
You could live through this.
Just walk in there and do it for me, buddy. This has nothing to do with anything. I'm just mad about that. I can't add or subtract anything from your Mass Effect argument.
Oh, I don't want to talk about it anymore.
Wait a second. I was talking about Super Sentai. I want to talk about Super Sentai.
Cool. What more news do you have?
Okay.
No.
Okay. Fine.
I'm still talking about Super Sentai.
Okay.
So, the reason I watched...
you're actually going back to Super Sentai.
The reason that I'm watching the newest season of Super Sentai is the main idea of this season is there are two teams. There is a thief top hat cape thief group of Power Rangers.
Magicians?
No.
Okay.
And then there is a group of police rangers and they don't like each other.
So the season of Super Sentai is Cops and Robbers.
Yes, it's Cops and Robbers. It's Kaito Sentai, which I think Kaito means thief, versus Keisetsu Sentai, which I think it means police.
Kaito, I think it's either thief or bandit.
It's thief or bandit. Yeah, it's one of those.
Because in Rurouni Kenshin, there's the Kaito crew.
Yeah. And so, there's, things where they fight, their typical, Power Ranger Sentai rubber suit monsters.
Mm-hmm. But
But then there's times where, they fight each other, and the choreography when they fight each other is really good.
Ooh.
The camera work,
okay.
and I'm like, can we have more of this? I know these shows are meant for Japanese children.
Right.
But can you make more cool fight scenes for me, 24-year-old white guy in America?
I like how dissonant you are from the core demographic.
Right?
After you say that, after you say exactly that.
Wrong age group.
Wrong age group, wrong, cultural, center.
Right. So one more thing about this. The next Power Rangers series that's coming out they're actually adapting a season of Super Sentai that they skipped, but it's the season of Super Sentai that was kind of like a love letter to Power Rangers. So it's a Power Rangers season adapted from something that had a lot of Power Rangers influence, which is really, it's like, okay, this will be interesting.
It's like the two Spider-Mans pointing.
Yes, exactly. That is exactly the image I had in my mind. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say. I just wanted to mention. I guess I could have waited till I talked about what I was watching, but any more news?
We got a few pieces. Do we? What is our time slot?
We're about 55 minutes.
Okay. Do we want to save things? Or
Do you have anything important?
I have like 3 things that I feel like we'll go through pretty quickly.
Okay, go for it.
Okay, so was you gonna use this segue a long time ago? Speaking of two brothers.
You know, remember when we were talking about that? Like, back when we were talking about Life is Strange?
When did we talk about Life is Strange?
It was before
like
Mass
20
Effect.
minutes ago. Rick and Morty, they're teaming up with Hulu for a new animated series.
Wait.
The creators
Oh, okay.
of Rick and Morty are teaming up with Hulu for a new
Who's-
animated series.
When you say the creators of Rick and Morty, specifically who? Is it like the
I'm
animation
guessing-
team? Is it Justin Roiland and Dan Harmon?
I'm guessing Dan Harmon at least, because he's already worked with Hulu in the past.
Season 5 of Community.
I don't know much more other than like I saw it and was like, that's neat, I guess. And then other small tidbit, Nickelodeon is launching the nostalgic streaming channel.
Ooh, I haven't
Yeah.
heard about this.
Like
Tell
all
me
of their
things.
all of their old stuff are going to get.
Does that mean it's all going to come off of Hulu?
Yeah, I guess.
Gosh.
They're
Dang
going,
it.
They're going to have their own thing, which goes along with something that we've talked about in the past, which is all these people keep announcing their streaming services. So the more you buy them, the more it's just going to be basically the price of paying for cable.
Okay, really quick. It's not Dan Harmon.
It's just
It's
Rick and
Justin Roiland
Just
and
Justin Roiland.
like the executive producer. Of
Yeah.
Rick and Morty.
I just double checked that too. I was
I'm
curious.
worried though about that piece of news because does that mean we're gonna get less of Rick and Morty?
No.
or-
Rick and Morty takes enough. Like,
Justin Roiland doesn't. Justin Roiland helps create the overall like concept of Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
But there's an entire writers crew, and Dan Harmon oversees all of that.
yeah, and the bulk of the time of Rick and Morty that gets taken is probably animation.
Mhm.
So like Justin Roiland writes a season of Rick and Morty. Now he has time to still be like involved in the creation of Rick and Morty, but he has time to write this other thing too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say it's a big process that Justin Roiland's a big part of. Like, the spice of Rick and Morty, like the flavor of Rick and Morty, is very much Justin Roiland. But Justin Roiland doesn't have his hands in the nuances of the writing and the structure and the animation of it. Like the visuals of Rick and Morty is not Justin Roiland.
Yeah. That makes sense. I guess his part wouldn't take as long either.
Yeah, he's
Like-
still able to do both.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and from what I've seen in some of the specifically like what he does whenever he's recording his lines,
It's
a
mostly
lot of it is improv, and
Mhm.
so that would require them doing the animation afterward, which would take a
Yeah.
lot longer.
Have you ever seen the video of him doing the commercials episode?
Yes, and
Yeah,
I love it
yeah.
so much.
Typically, typically all animation probably. They record the vocals first for that reason. The only thing that's different is when something's being dubbed, and then they look at the original thing as a reference for what they do.
For the mouth, for how long they can talk,
Yeah.
and like the mouth flaps.
And then
But yeah, so
Oh, go ahead.
yeah, the streaming thing is frustrating. Like, hey everyone, this is Jash from Mediaphile. Just wanted to stop for a quick second. I said a lot of heated things about Nickelodeon streaming service, and shortly after filming this, I realized that they weren't making their own streaming service, but that they are going to be a channel on Verve, which is literally the best thing they could have done. So, I just want to say that my statements about what Nickelodeon is doing are null and void, because they actually did something pretty cool. Okay, continue. I understand why everyone wants to do it, but it's like Rugrats is going to be taken off of Hulu now, which sucks. But I guess they're going to put things that like aren't being streamed already. Like Ren and Stimpy, you can't stream that on Hulu, I don't think. So now it'll be there.
The hard thing anymore is everyone wants a piece of the streaming pie.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to fairly just say, just put it all on Netflix so I can watch it all. Just put it on Hulu. Just everyone agree to put him on these two things so I don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, and like, here's the thing. I'm not going to get the Nickelodeon streaming service. If their stuff was on Hulu, I would probably watch it.
That's the issue.
But I'm not going to go out of my way and pay a certain thing to watch, like, old cartoons. Mm-hmm. As much as I love them,
that reminds me.
If I'm going to binge something on purpose, it's going to be something, like, either new or something with an overarching story that I get something out of.
Is Disney still doing their streaming service? Or they
are.
I thought they backed out of that.
No. They're totally still doing it.
Disney is one of the only companies that I feel like can actually get away with it.
Yep. Still not going to get it, but...
If they... Those things will work. Like, those things will sucker people in.
Right.
And by people, I mean me. If you can guarantee me that your entire catalog will be
right.
there.
It's like...
don't cycle stuff out.
There'd be no reason for them to cycle stuff. Well, I guess to bring in new people. The Disney Vault.
Yeah, don't do the Netflix and have a license for it for 4 years and get rid of it and now I can't find it anywhere. Give me everything. I want to watch
Sword in the Stone.
Yes. No, I'm trying to think of like all the Disney original movies.
I want to watch Halloween Town.
No, not Halloween Town. That's what I'm talking about. The Halloween Towns, the
Even Stevens movie.
Yeah, or Even Stevens.
Yeah,
I would watch all of Even Stevens if you gave me the access.
That's fair.
If you give me Nickelodeon, I want all the weird shows that you gave like 10 episodes to.
Yo, I want to stream Kablam.
What's Kablam?
Kablam, the comic book show where everything was
it was like an animated sketch comedy show. So
I've never seen Kablam.
The main characters was like the little girl with the purple hair and the guy with the green hair, and then they would like have little skits. And one of the like skit shows they did were like was a stop motion action figure show.
It was basically like Robot Chicken before Robot Chicken.
Oh, okay.
Go on.
You can't find it.
I can find a picture of Kablam.
You can find a picture. Yeah, I say Kablam's one of those things where I have actually tried to watch episodes of it, and it's hard to find anything except for the alien.
You know what? I actually have seen that. Okay.
It's impossible to see anything except for the alien and the caveman skits. I don't know why those are on YouTube, but it's so hard to find them. At least last time I checked.
One thing I do want to know, because it's specifically aimed towards nostalgia and all
Action
the old
League,
Nickelodeon shows. Mm-hmm. I want every season and episode of Slime Time Live.
Dude, I forgot they just recently started redoing Double Dare, and I've wanted to go and watch some episodes.
That's cool.
Yeah,
I love Double Dare.
Mark Summers isn't like the host anymore, but I think he still has a role. Like he's still part of the show.
That's fun.
I want to go in and be able to watch every single episode of
Temple
Legends
Doom.
of the Hidden
Temple. Legend of the Hidden Temple. You're right. Okay.
Is that what you were trying to say?
Yeah, not Temple of Doom.
Did you know that in that show, Olbeck was one, D. Bradley Baker.
No.
And two, he was non-animatronic. It was D. Bradley Baker like opening and closing the mouth while he said the lines.
Wait, so literally him with a microphone also doing...
I'm pretty sure he was him doing both.
Okay, I love the idea of the actor also having to do the...
Yeah. Hi, I'm D. Bradley Baker. You'll remember me as the voice of Momo and every other animal in cartoons.
I'm trying to think of another, like, station or another overarching, like... network that could do a streaming service that I would actually pay for.
Right.
If it was
Cartoon Network.
See, they try to do that though. Already they have their thing, but I don't know if they have their entire catalog on
That's the thing, is I need whole catalogs of the stuff, of your weird obscure stuff.
I would pay for a Cartoon Network one that gives me like access to all of Samurai Jack, all of Teen Titans, all of my favorite old shows.
Yeah. A lot of those things.
All of
Justice League,
Johnny Quest,
Justice League Unlimited, like all that stuff.
All those things are hard to find because most of those either got most of those shows didn't get box sets, which was the problem. Is most of those shows got Best of Justice League or Justice League Volume 1.
The DC stuff all got box sets, just much later.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like...
and now all the DC stuff's like gonna get stuck on DC streaming service.
Like, a lot of stuff I remember getting when I got DVDs and stuff, it was like getting...
Like 4 episodes, like a random, like 4 episodes.
Yeah, like the best of thing, or even worse, is like the Cartoon Network collection.
Yeah.
Where you get, like, 2 episodes of Dexter's Lab, 2 episodes of Johnny Bravo, and an episode of Cow and Chicken.
When I worked at Family Video, we had a disc there that was just all the Christmas episodes, and it had like a Christmas episode of Ed and Eddie, Johnny Bravo, I Am Weasel.
Oh, never mind. That was the Aliens.
Oh yeah, gotta go.
Yeah, the one where they all crossed over for an episode.
And that was like I'm pretty sure one of the shows I crossed over with like was over at the time.
Ed
like
and
this
Eddie?
one, like yeah.
Ed and Eddie was over for like 2 years by that point. Was it? I think it was the weird time period towards like, is Ed and Eddie over? No, we came back with a new season where they're in school.
Yeah.
I think it was in that time period.
Gotcha.
Because they were still in their neighborhood.
Yeah.
And then like 4 years after Ed and Eddie ended, they had the movie.
Yeah, that was like their ending.
Yeah, and that was the ending, which was nice because it was the only episode to have another character show up.
Yeah.
For the first time. I love it.
And he was a character they had referenced since like the first season too.
Yeah, his brother, his big bro.
Good old Plank.
My best friend Plank.
Johnny's my least favorite character in that show.
Really?
I think so.
I think he's hilarious.
Rolf.
Rolf.
Not Ralph. I said it and knew it was wrong.
Yeah,
Rolf
is like, it just sounded gross coming out.
Yeah. Rolf might be my favorite character in the show.
I mean, who else would be your favorite character other than the son of a shepherd?
He's Goku.
Ralph is Sean Schemmel?
Sean Schemmel is Rolf.
I said Ralph. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Have you ever seen the memes where it's like, you dare mock the son of the shepherd? And it has him with like with Super Saiyan hair and the spirit bomb.
I saw that, but I didn't realize
that's why it's a bit.
What? That's ridiculous.
Also, I think Ed and Eddie was the last hand-drawn show. Like, the last show to be only...
Really?
I think it was the last show to be done in only hand-drawn animation.
I didn't know that. Huh.
Like, without using any... I think it's the last show to do with any, like, outside, special effects.
Yeah.
Like, digital effects stuff.
That's not Sean Schemmel.
Was he not?
No, but maybe it's the guy... I'm gonna check something real quick. He's Goku from the Ocean dub.
Okay.
Also, my favorite thing ever, when it comes to like there being 2 dubs, is the filler episode of Dragon Ball Super where they go to the other world and there's like Purple Clone Vegeta.
Yeah.
Purple Clone Vegeta is the voice of
dub.
Vegeta from the other dub, and I thought that's amazing that they were just like, hey,
it's a very meta thing to do.
yeah, why don't you come over and be in this episode because of who you were. Like, that's so funny.
I like that guy not being a voice actor anymore and just being like, just a dad.
Yeah.
Just a dad that works at a tire shop. Remember when you were the voice of Vegeta? I was the voice of what?
What is that one? Is that one of them Animu shows all these kids are talking about?
Animu.
Well, especially when you listen to voice actors talk about their thing. Like, Tom Kenny's the best example.
Mm-hmm.
I listen to their, like, the speech bubble.
Yeah.
Not speech
Butch
bubble.
Hartman has speech
No.
bubble. Is it just the Nickelodeon Animation
Yeah.
Podcast? That's just what it's called. It's the Nick Animation Podcast.
Wow. They weren't that creative on that.
I mean, it's what it is.
Because Tom Kenny talked about that when someone walks up and you're like, hey, you were my favorite character in this show. I was like, oh yeah, I love that thing. I do not know what you're talking about.
I don't remember.
I don't watch the shows I'm in.
Yeah. Hey, remember when you were in that one episode of Samurai Jack for like 2 minutes?
I was?
Yes.
Sure. Random kid.
You inspired me to go into voice acting. It's like...
For that?
I thought
you do realize that I'm SpongeBob, right? That I was Eduardo in friggin' Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, right?
The way...
You say that like... Is that show like known to be a really popular show?
Foster's was probably the best cartoon of the 2000-2010.
Like in terms of popularity, or like because we love it?
No.
Popularity in like content. Like it's probably
It got Emmys.
I didn't know that.
That show
That's
got-
cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that show got animation.
The
Emmys.
people who like worked on that are like big names now. I mean, they were big names then too, but like they've like kept getting stuff because of that.
I just remember being. I don't think I was with you. It was with a few friends in like middle school, and we were hanging
Foster's
out.
Yeah.
And we were like pumped, and we all watched Foster's. The
Isn't
first episode
like,
of Foster's.
Foster's is almost like that decade's like Johnny Bravo in terms of like people
curious.
working on it together, and then all those people going and
okay.
getting their own shows.
Butch Hartman, Seth MacFarlane.
Yeah, because I know like Lauren Faust is
Lauren
like
Faust.
the name that comes to mind for Foster's Home, because she's gone on to make My Little Pony and Steven Universe. Did she do Steven
Yep.
Universe? And I'm pretty sure a lot of people that worked on Adventure Time.
No, Adventure Time is way closer to that comparison. Because
you know what, you're
here's
right.
the thing: literally anyone who touched Adventure Time went on to do something 10 times, all went out to do 10 times more things. Like anyone who touched Adventure Time ended up being a big name in their own way.
Right.
Huh.
That is also definitely true.
I think Adventure Time is close to that.
I just remembered that freaking Foster's was made by the people who made Powerpuff Girls.
Yeah,
It's that art style.
just things like
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
Think
Because
about-
Mojo
I feel
Jojo was literally in an episode when they talked about people. It's in the first episode.
Yeah.
He's like, some people aren't that creative, and then it's just Mojo Jojo. And so they get other people's ideas. So maybe it wasn't a bunch of people starts. It was just a bunch of people who worked on other things coming together.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Did Foster's end?
Yes.
Yes.
Foster. I never saw the last episode, but it has a definite ending in the
Okay.
episode.
It's sad.
Yeah.
I've never seen it.
I'm not gonna say what it is because it's kind of a big thing, and I still need to watch it eventually. But
Because I saw the movie. I saw like Wilt's movie.
oh yeah, Good Will Hunting.
Good Will Hunting. Yeah, that's dumb,
Right?
Yeah,
No, it's not. It's perfect.
His
He gets lost.
his creator is like a basketball star.
The whole
Yeah.
movie's based off of a pun.
Yeah. Someone like probably thought of like the pun, and they're like, we should have him go find the person who made him.
I like that movie, especially when he gets like the lawnmower and he has to like.
I never actually saw it.
Oh, you never saw it?
No.
It's the most like Wilt thing ever. Of he gets a lawnmower to go to drive to get somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh man, that person's yard looks a little long. I have a lawnmower. I'm gonna go help him real quick. Goes through it. The next lawn's also too long.
Is that how he gets lost?
That's not how he gets lost,
Okay.
but he runs out of gas almost immediately after getting it.
That's so funny.
Because he goes through everyone's house, and you see like a giant overhead thing of just like the lines.
Mhm.
He just gets more and more elaborate as he goes.
That's so funny. I think that show ended when I was, quote, too old for cartoons, unquote. And I hate...
Did you have a phase like that?
Yeah. Not, like, as, like, much as, like, some people. But I
Because
still...
mine was a good, like 7th grade through, like, senior year.
I'm like, I'm too cool to watch cartoons. I'm gonna not watch cartoons and just spend every moment I'm at home on Gaia Online.
I remember that.
And I really wish that I didn't have that phase because I miss the ending of like all these cartoons. I miss the ending of that. I miss the ending of Kids Next Door. I miss
seen
the
the ending of Kids
ending
Next
of like
Door.
so many different cartoons. And it's like, dang. I basically missed the entire last season of Teen Titans.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
What
that?
the heck? I think that's my garage door.
Oh, okay.
I was like, you don't get to act surprised. It's your house.
I was like,
If you're surprised, we're in trouble.
is that your washing machine?
No. Like, directly under the floorboard.
I mean, you could
It's a
be above
top-
the laundry room.
It's a top loader.
Yeah, dude.
Anyway.
I would say we could do like the what are we watching, what are we playing thing, but
there's... Yeah, I mean, the last bit of news was that Arrowverse, they're officially getting Superman and Lois Lane in the Arrowverse, but they're not using the actor and actress
because it's a different universe
from the Warner Brothers movies.
Oh, wait.
Oh, well, yeah. Of
Yeah,
course.
you can't-
But they're going
It's
to
too much
start
money.
introducing the major players in DC.
Superman has been in the
Supergirl.
Arrowverse. Yeah,
Oh.
he's been, well, not technically that world, but the Arrowverse. He was in Supergirl.
Is he?
He was shown?
Yes.
Yeah, he's been in there before.
He lives in a different town. So basically, like...
Okay.
Yeah, he lives in...
Who cares? He's Superman!
I know, but like he lives in Metropolis and they live in whatever. I actually really like...
It's okay.
I actually really like the actor for Superman in that show. I think he's a really good Superman. So it kind of sucks that he just is there sometimes.
Well, apparently him and Lois Lane are gonna have a more
Prominent role. I like that.
I think she's gonna get her own show.
I doubt it. They wouldn't do that.
Or they're basing a show around that kind of. I don't know. There's a lot of different
Lois
things.
and Clark 2.
You know, they could do.
Remember Lois and Clark, the
show about the two people that
No,
settled the wilderness.
There was an
in
old
the 1800s?
Superman show called Lois and Clark.
You're right though.
Yeah.
I was thinking.
I think that's the pun that they were going for in the name.
Oh, yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
No, I just like the idea of like an old woodsman and Superman being friends.
And like bad things happen and Superman goes to like save it, but it focuses on the woodsman.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I wouldn't mind.
That's a Family Guy bit. I don't know if that's actually a Family Guy bit, but I just had the animation of Family Guy in my head.
I wouldn't mind a show that is kind of. I mean, what the route that they would be taking is a sort of like Gotham-esque approach where Batman and all of the main characters are. Actually, Batman's not really a thing. He's a kid in Gotham, right?
Yeah.
I don't know, but your main character is a side person.
I want to see
Dude, kids are kids for 18 years.
But go on.
Anyway, if Lois Lane was the narrator and the person it followed, Superman is.
It's just called like the Daily Planet.
Yeah,
and it just like follows all of them, and
I would watch that.
Oh, I wanna. That has to be a thing too. If it's not, I'd be amazed. Just the idea of living in a world of superheroes.
And you're not super.
Like you're in the DC verse. You're like the DC verse, but you're the main character, and it's just you like getting to town and like.
Isn't that literally what the show? It got canceled after one season with Abed and Alan Tudyk.
I didn't watch it, so I don't know.
But you're the one who told me about it.
Well,
it's called like the Inn something or
the people in the show. They're living in a world with a bunch of superheroes.
Isn't it specifically DC?
I don't know if it's DC or not, actually.
Like
this is a show that happened and got canceled after a season.
Okay. I'm like...
What was it on? Amazon? I think it was on Amazon.
I feel like that joke can't last that long.
Right.
But just the idea of...
Because the joke is there's interesting things happening somewhere else. But it's like... That stuff is interesting.
Same thing for like the cleanup. I don't know if they got their own show or it was part of S.H.I.E.L.D. But like the cleanup crew in Marvel. In the Marvel universe.
I think that there was going to be a spinoff of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. that was going to be something like that. And it just never happened.
You're just the cleanup crew. Like you're the guys who have to come in and like fix the crap that the superheroes blow up later. And you're the ones that like deal with... and like you're like the logistics guy. Like, you're the guy who has to sign, like, the insurance papers.
Man, remember 2012 when Marvel pretended that the TV shows were going to be super connected to the movies, and then it never happened?
No, because you can't... There's basically laws that keep movie stars out of TV.
It's not laws.
It's the union.
Oh, well, yeah.
You have laws, rules, regulations, whatever you want to call it.
A lot of this stuff is
bureaucrats.
People like, I don't want to be on TV because I'm a movie star. Like,
even people who want to.
When people get from the gold screen, they don't want to go to the silver screen. But I'm sure that like Marvel, the actors and stuff, this falls under the same union.
The silver screen is the movies.
I thought the silver screen was TV.
No,
I thought the golden screen.
There's no such thing as a golden screen.
Okay, well, people who go from TV don't want to go. People who go from movies don't want to go to TVs. A lot of people start out in TV and then get to the movies, and then they're like,
backing up a few steps. Silver screen is because you used to paint the movie like wall silver,
and then do like projection.
And when you project it, it would shine. Okay, I just thought that was so funny.
It was like, okay, cool.
I understood your thought process for that thing.
Yeah.
But
movies are the big... Wait, no. Movies are the silver screen. What's TV? Just the screen.
The small screen.
The tube.
Yeah, but
the boob tube.
But no. Do you remember in Wet Hot American Summer the thing with I'm gonna be the DJ tonight. I'm DJ Ski Mask.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be the one wearing the ski mask.
Yeah.
Because he wasn't allowed to be anymore in that movie anymore.
I thought it was just scheduling conflicts.
I think that was an Actors Guild issue.
Oh wait, yeah. He wasn't paid for that show. I'm pretty sure
exactly.
he worked for free because
he wasn't allowed to
because union stuff.
Because that's why you can't. The union stops like movie stars from working for free on certain things because they it's weird things of like helping out a friend kind of stuff.
Yeah,
it's kind of stopping that to where giving people unfair advantages to make like, which is still dumb because if that's why they do it. Because it's like, no, don't help out your friend that doesn't have a lot of money. You have to get paid the right amount. That way, the people with a lot of money can hire you, so it's fair.
Mm-hmm. It's the union stuff is why the original Black Power Ranger has never come back on the show for like a crossover episode or special episode because he's a union actor and. That's Power Rangers annoying. Is non-union because they don't like spending money.
Right. But without unions, you can't get like, the big actors.
Right.
Yeah. It's all weird.
I really don't. When it comes to Marvel, though, I don't think it's a union issue. I think it's the head of the executive producer of the Marvel Cinematic Universe doesn't want to like work with the executive producer of the TV universe.
You don't want to have that many like you don't want to have that many creatives like doing their own thing because then they're gonna do something that's like, well, that's not in Iron Man's character,
right?
Yeah. And you get issues like that, or this guy did this thing and now this guy's dead, but he's in the next movie. Why is that? Well, that guy didn't read my script, so he didn't know I needed him for the next movie.
Right.
And you get issues like that. Which is amazing. Which, I know saying that about Marvel is kind of dumb. But, I know saying that about Marvel is kind of dumb because they have 26 movies and most of them are directed by someone else.
Right.
But I think they have a consistency to it all.
Yeah. I remember reading an article recently about, like, the current season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Like, it had its finale that was happening, like, ambiguously during Infinity War.
Yeah.
So, they're like, we're not going to say when it is, so people can't be like, how come no one got snapped from the main cast? And it will probably start again after the next Infinity War or something like that.
So, I was wondering how they were going to do that.
Yeah, because it was so, like, Agent Coulson is coming out, oh, awesome, and things happening in the world are going to affect this, and it's going to be awesome, and it's all pretty, Like, the show itself is, like,
I like it
pretty good on its own, for the most part.
I'm at S.H.I.E.L.D., right?
Yeah.
I like it.
See,
It had a really weak start, but by the end of the first season, I really liked it. And then I started season 2, and it's, I like it so far. We've watched half of it, me and Doolin have.
We were like, you want to watch S.H.I.E.L.D. together whenever our wives got together? And we started that, and then our wives stopped hanging out for a while.
Summer's been busy.
Yeah, so
it's not a personal thing. Summer's been busy.
The issue, I feel bad.
Or is it? Do our wives hate each other? Tune in next week to find out.
Yeah.
So
Let's find out.
I feel so bad about those shows because besides the Netflix Marvel shows, and even those I have a lot of troubles with, I don't like the Arrowverse and I really don't like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Like, just in a blank.
That's fair.
And the Heroes of Tomorrow, whatever it's called.
Legends of Tomorrow. Legends of Tomorrow is actually, like, the most consistent show out of all of them. Not saying it's the best show, but it has the most consistent quality.
Yeah, my roommates watch it a lot, and I just jump into it a lot. And my girlfriend has, like, read Legends of Tomorrow is her favorite, like, comic series, which is the funniest thing.
She likes, like, not weird comics, but, like, different comics. Because, like, it's that and the Runaways that she's, like, super into.
Oh, wait, no, sorry. Runaways is the comic I'm thinking
Oh, okay.
of.
Run away.
But
Run away from me, baby.
no, and my roommates are watching Runaways when it was first started to come out and everything,
Yeah.
which was really fun for me because not like Doolin, not anyway like Doolin. She is terrible at spoiling things. She would just like
terrible at not spoiling things. Terrible about spoiling things.
she's terrible about spoiling
Okay.
things. Sorry, she's good at spoiling.
She is the best at spoiling.
Because she doesn't. It's not that she doesn't think ahead about it. She just like. She has this weird thing where she just assumes everyone has the same like hive knowledge that she has. So something happens like, oh, so you found out she's a blah 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 da da da, and like, what? Like, yeah, she's glowing. Duh, of course she's that. And like,
Just like in issue 734, the Runaways does
Like,
not
how
have
did-
734 issues.
that was my favorite thing when she walked in and she was like, oh, cool, so you found out she's a blank now. I'm like, what? Like, yeah, it's obvious from episode 1 where she was doing this and that.
Yeah, if you already knew what she was.
I didn't think that at all.
I didn't think that was an option.
It was like, so when it happens in the comics, do they make it a big deal? And it's like, yeah, there's a whole issue about it, like, because it's a big turning point.
Yeah.
We haven't got there yet.
I just love that kind of stuff. Which then happens like 3 more times in the course of one episode of her saying a thing that apparently is a huge plot point near the end of the season.
Just assume that none of us know anything.
Yeah.
Let me bring it up.
I know nothing and don't care, so whenever something gets spoiled, I just laugh.
That's why whenever I watch...
I also just lie all the time when I watch
somebody
shows.
else is watching a show, like when you this week were watching Superstore, in order for me to
It's
like
so good.
find out where you are without ruining something, I would be like, so describe what just happened to me.
Or you can say like a bit that isn't like spoilery.
yeah,
that's good too.
Well, I didn't want to. I also don't want to overhype bits in that
That's
show.
true. That's true.
Like it's like I don't want to be like, have you got to this bit? Have you got to the tartar bit yet?
That's like episode 2 or 3.
Yeah. Because, well, I just did that for everyone listening to the show, but like, that's a bit that I don't think you could overhype because it's still funny. Like to me, every time I go back and watch it, it would be like asking a person who is watching The Office, like, have you seen the bit where he has to give the CPR training?
Mm-hmm.
Like, no matter how much you hype that part,
but if you just
it's
know
still
that
really funny.
Right.
See, the best way to do spoilers, or the best way to the best way to talk to someone about a movie they haven't seen yet with spoilers, just lie every other thing. Especially if you accidentally do a spoil, then just continue to do fake spoils while you're talking to them.
I don't like that either.
No,
I hate it when
I don't
people
like
do that to me because then I'm waiting for something to happen. I'm not paying attention.
It's like when Batman Dark Knight Rises came out and everyone said that Batman dies at the end. And then there's a part at the end where you could see Batman dying, and it's like, okay, so it was true, but then it's not, and it's like, oh, okay.
I love that. In fact, my new favorite trend in movie trailers are movie trailers that lie to you blatantly.
That's the only way to do it, because they used to tell you too much. So now it's like, cool, the Infinity War trailer had Hulk in it. Hulk's not in this movie.
I love that. It's my favorite thing on earth. I'm just like, we're gonna actively give you false information.
Yeah, and in the trailer also Thanos had like the wrong amount of like Infinity Stones. I think he never had more than 2 in the trailer.
Correct. See, that's why I think that's so funny. Because everyone's like, yeah, the first Infinity War is gonna be him
getting like 3 or
Yeah, getting 3. And nothing bad's gonna. Oh my god.
and then the next one's gonna be him getting the rest, and then we're gonna have to deal with him with all of them. Like, no.
Like,
I want more trailers to just lie. That is so funny to me.
I'm still the ending of Infinity War.
Do you want to talk about the Infinity War now?
What is our time spot at?
We're at a minute 30.
Okay,
An hour 30.
An hour 30.
Yeah.
No, we're not doing. What are we watching? What are we playing?
No.
For the next like 10 minutes, you guys want to talk about the ending of Infinity War?
Not even
No.
10 minutes. I just want to say that.
No,
last
God
10
no.
minutes.
That's a bad idea.
It's so.
And we're-
Like I watched it on the plane.
Okay, I guess we're talking about Infinity War.
I watched it on the plane.
If you haven't seen it yet,
stop listening now.
It's the number
that's
one.
also on you.
Boop, boop,
No,
boop,
it's the
boop, boop, boop.
It's a literal like number one selling movie of all time.
If you haven't seen it,
It's your fault.
yeah.
No,
I
it's
have
not
no-
your fault. You know,
You know
maybe
it-
you're busy. You know, maybe you're going through a hard time, don't have a lot of money. It's okay.
Hey, the ending of Titanic, the boat sinks.
That's fine. That movie came out
Dang it, Warren!
24 years ago.
Yeah, it's also the like. It was also the number one selling movie of all time
Yeah,
forever.
also,
No one cares.
That was a thing that happened in history before the movie came out.
You're right.
Everyone who went day one should have known the ending.
That's also true. That's actually a true thing.
It would have been a twist if it didn't happen.
You know what? You're right. Shame on me.
There's a problem.
It's just funny that you say that, and then Josh was like, "That movie came out in like how long ago did you say?
24 years ago.
24 years ago." It's like
It also actually happened.
it's like yeah. In Saving Private Ryan, a lot of soldiers die, and it's World War II.
What? What?
Well, I'm trying to think of the next like movies down like the top selling movies of all time. Can you spoil Avatar?
Can you spoil The Passion of the Christ?
It wasn't a really top selling movie.
I feel like it's
Wow.
top selling.
It's not.
It was in
You can
the spiritual realm.
Well, yeah, it has to go up against God's Not Dead and God's Not Dead 2.
Featuring Melissa Joan Hart. You know, from
And
Sabrina
Willie.
the Teenage
It's
Witch.
funny that out of those three movies, the one that we said did the best is the one where God does die.
He comes back.
Yeah, he comes back.
You know, financially, that one probably made the least out of those three. Actually, no, God's Not Dead 2 probably made less than Passion, but God's Not Dead definitely made more money than Passion of the Christ.
Yeah.
What was the other Christian movie that
Just
came out at that
because-
time? The one about the boy. I See Heaven.
Heaven is for real.
Heaven is for
Because it's
real.
based off a book.
Yeah. Just like kid lied.
The kid probably didn't lie. This is
The
probably what
kid's the
happened.
kid.
No, he said he lied.
Oh, this is what I assume happened. I assume that the kid died, and then the parents were like, "Did you see heaven?" And he was like, yeah." And they're like, "Did you see giant golden mansions?" Yeah. Let's write this down.
Well, no, the kid like straight up even said like, "I made it up to get attention,"
Yeah.
and it went way too.
It went way too far.
It's way too far.
Because the dad's a pastor, right?
You know, like after a movie and after a best-selling book, now it's time to okay. No, he's not a pastor. It's just two parents.
What's
Infinity War is not the best-selling movie. I mean, it
It's
probably
Star
will be
Wars
eventually,
now.
but it's still Avatar.
Still Avatar?
Yeah. Avatar, and then Titanic, and then Force Awakens, and then Infinity War.
Oh, maybe it's the best opening. Maybe it's the best
It's
opening.
the best opening.
Okay, it's the
What
best
is-
opening movie.
What is it with James Cameron? How does he do this every time?
He's really good at making movies.
Also,
I
there.
mean, those two movies I like, but they're not like my favorite.
Well,
movies ever.
Avatar was a technical marvel when it came out. Nobody likes the story of Avatar. Nobody's.
I love Pocahontas. Shut up.
like.
I love Lawrence of Arabia.
Like it was
It wasn't
shown,
bad.
and
I
it
love
even got
Dances with Wolves.
a remake in theaters, like or re-release in theaters because of like how like big it was.
You
It's the
know-
first complete IMAX movie, right?
Yes, and it was also the first one that used like real 3D.
You know my biggest
Technology.
qualm with that movie?
What
The only thing I really have a problem with?
is the fact that every single time you hear about it, James Cameron is planning 2 more sequels?
Every
He-
time
he
you
has
watch
6
it, there's another sequel on the way.
He has basically dedicated his life to just like, yeah, I think for the rest of my life I'm just gonna make these movies.
He's like, I have 7 Avatar movies pinned. Okay, well you haven't made the second, so why don't you calm down? It's like I recently saw an article that said Tom Hardy has already committed to 3 Venom movies. They're not gonna make a second one. I can tell you now, a second Venom movie is not going to be made. Because the first one's not gonna make enough money.
Josh says it here.
We're
We're
gonna
gonna make him eat those words whenever.
Oh, make him eat those
the second
words.
one- second
remember
one comes
this?
out.
Remember the Amazing Universe that was supposed to happen with the Sinister Six?
Yeah, there's supposed to be a Sinister 6 movie. Aunt May was supposed to get her own movie.
What?
I didn't know that.
Sony
one.
was really bad at making Spider-Man.
Aunt May was gonna get her. Anyway.
I don't understand how people forget why Spider-Man's cool.
This is what happened. I'm pretty sure Sony kept leaking ideas that they had just to get people's like reactions to it.
Well, also, isn't it around the same time as the giant email dump?
Yes.
Yeah,
Can I say
because
my
that's the one
qualm
where they
with
were like,
Avatar
what?
after that?
Oh, I was gonna say.
Yeah.
I just don't want us to go too far
Is
away.
it because they kept calling him Sokka instead of Sokka?
No, that I don't.
I have many qualms with that movie.
I'm not even gonna acknowledge that as a movie.
There's no movie in
What are
Boston
you gonna say
Say.
about Spider-Man before we go back to Avatar?
Oh, the things where there was giant email dumps, and it was just like one of the problems with the Amazing Spider-Man. It was like it was literally basically written and kind of like puppeted by like old man executive, because he would be like, I saw on the plane the other day that the kids were using Snapchat. Should Peter Parker have a Snapchat? Those are actual...
Spider-Man, not Peter Parker. Spider-Man have a Snapchat.
Oh yeah.
People could be like in his circle.
It was like, was that a Google?
No, that was on the thing. They said that.
The Google one?
They said people could be in Spider-Man's circle.
Like the Google.
I guess.
Google Plus.
I don't know.
Go on. Say what you're thinking about Avatar. I'm confused now.
Okay.
I was thinking like the Google like social media thing.
Yeah, Google Plus.
Google Plus. That's what it's called.
So the one part when I watched it, every time it happens, and you can go back and watch this scene. It's at the very end, and I loved the film up to this point. It's when the bad guy, like in the mech, tracks down where
the body is,
where his body is
Yeah.
in the thing, and so he comes there, and then the girl and him fight. She like comes to protect him.
Yeah.
You guys seen the movie, right?
Yeah.
I actually haven't.
Oh really? Wow. Okay.
It's a long movie.
It is a long.
It
movie.
is a very
It's my
long
qualm with the movie.
Well, either way,
Same reason why I've never finished Lord of the Rings.
He knows where the guy is who's controlling the Avatar, and
That's why they call it that.
the lady comes there to protect him, and the guy in the mech suit gets there. Last boss fight, I guess you want to call it, of the film.
The climax.
This guy has been pushed as like the big bad guy, or whatever.
Mhm.
He's in a mech suit,
Mm-hmm.
and he pulls out
A knife.
a comically large knife
Yeah.
for a robot.
Yeah.
And that's his
Oh,
weapon.
yeah, like the
he doesn't have rockets. He doesn't have. Like,
you could have used that outside of a robot.
No.
He doesn't.
The mech has a knife.
And the mech has a pocket that it pulls the knife out of.
He's not saying like the guy pulls a knife out while he's in the mech.
I know. Yeah.
The robot pulls out a knife.
You couldn't have put like even a normal gun on this thing. A
couldn't-
pistol would have.
You
still
couldn't
worked.
have made his hands that were the mech's knives.
Like it could shift into a knife or
No.
something.
It has. That means that they designed
There's a pocket.
this
It has
robot,
a pocket.
this mech, doesn't have anything to protect itself. They were like, let's give it a sword that it has attached at its hip, and it pulls it out.
They
and
said
that's
we don't
how
have
it
the
fights."
budget for a sword. Let's give him a knife.
It's like a comically large, military knife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what he
combat
has.
knife.
It's not. It doesn't. He doesn't have a gun. He didn't have anything. That's what he has.
Just doesn't. Yeah, you know what else is the problem with that movie?
A lot of things, but
Do you know?
that's the only thing I have that's wrong with it. Though.
Do you know what the material is? This is such a like comedian bit. Do you know what the material is they can't obtain in that movie?
The material that's unobtainable.
Do you know what the material is called? Do you know what the thing is the whole movie's based on? Do you know the thing that the colony is like placed on top of that they can't
I
get to?
forget
'cause
what
it's
the
so
name of that element
Do
is.
you not know what the unobtainable material is? It's called unobtainium.
And
That's the official name of it.
That is on the periodic table in that universe.
That is a thing they say straight-faced all the time in that movie. We're like, we have to get the unobtainium. Who named this?
James Cameron.
Yeah. Anyway.
You know that like the bigwigs like meddling in the movie is also why Spider-Man 3 was bad? Sam Raimi loves Sandman. He wanted to make a movie about Sandman.
And then were they like...
And they're like, you know people like Venom, right? He's like, yeah, but I really like the Sandman. But you know people like Venom, right? But I mean, I got a movie, and I got the new Goblin, you know, I've been building this character for 2 movies now. I'm gonna have a night. You know people like Venom, right? Okay, but I'm still freaking doing Sandman too. I'm Sam Raimi.
I gave you 2 good movies, I get to make mine.
I'm still doing Sandman.
Sandman was, I don't know.
It was freaking.
It was a choice.
What was his name? He was played by the guy from George of the Jungle, and that's all I could see the entire time.
I don't get
like the bad guy from George of the Jungle.
Yeah.
Not Brendan Fraser, obviously.
Yeah.
I don't think that guy is Brendan Fraser.
I didn't think you thought that.
I just don't want people to think that I think that the guy who played Sandman was Brendan Fraser.
I don't want people to think I'm stupid. I just want people to know I'm a George of the Jungle enthusiast.
Dude, it's such a good movie.
It is a good movie. I just don't get...
James Franco is in that. I
Yeah.
didn't realize that.
Yeah, he's Harry Osborn. He was that's the reason why I know who James Franco is.
Yeah.
Were you just about to ask who's James Franco?
No.
He's the guy from Spider-Man.
Isn't Topher Grace
He's in the third one.
Yeah, he's in the third one.
He's Venom.
Yeah, he's Venom. Okay.
He's Eddie Brock.
Yeah,
He's scrawny Eddie Brock.
Yeah, that makes no sense.
Eddie Brock is supposed to be a big dude. That's why Venom is a big dude.
Like, it would make more sense if Sandman was...
Yeah, he had the build.
Yeah, he had the Eddie Brock build.
Lyle. That was his name in George of the Jungle.
And that's how I win this week.
He didn't look that up either. He searched his mind.
No. I was like, Marco? No, that's the character's name. He's Flint Marco.
I watched him,
Johnny
like,
Arco?
look into the abyss and pull it out of nothing. That was impressive.
He was staring at this mic. That's what he was staring at. He was like... Lyle.
Well, I guess this is it. Thanks, guys, for indulging me.
Okay, are we done?
Yeah, we out of here.
Okay.
I don't see any other way we could finish this week.
Bad guy from George's Gym was Lyle.
Let's bring it back.
Bye.
You guys want to go eat?